The Magical Kite Adventure. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and whispering trees, lived a boy named Tim. Tim was a curious and imaginative child who loved to explore the world around him. His favorite spot was a wide-open field where he often flew his colorful kite. One sunny morning, Tim woke up early, filled with excitement. He had spent the previous day making a brand new kite with bright red and blue stripes. As soon as the sun peeked over the hills, he rushed outside with his kite in hand. Tim ran to his favorite field and let out the string. The kite soared into the sky, dancing and twirling with the gentle breeze. Tim laughed joyfully, feeling like he could touch the clouds. But something magical happened that day. As Tim ran with his kite, a sudden gust of wind lifted it higher and higher until it disappeared from sight. Tim gasped, looking around in surprise. Where had his kite gone? Just as he was about to give up hope, he heard a soft voice coming from behind a bush. "Hello there, young explorer." Tim turned around to find a tiny creature with wings fluttering nearby. It was a fairy. "Did you see my kite fly by?" Tim asked, his eyes wide with curiosity. The fairy smiled and nodded. "Yes, your kite flew into the enchanted forest. But don't worry, I can help you retrieve it." Tim's heart raced with excitement. He followed the fairy as they entered the forest, which was filled with shimmering trees and glowing flowers. They walked through meadows of colorful mushrooms and crossed over bubbling brooks on magical bridges made of light. After a while, they reached a clearing where Tim's kite lay tangled in the branches of a tall tree. "There it is," Tim exclaimed, pointing up. But the kite was too high for him to reach. The fairy waved her wand, and with a gentle sparkle, the kite floated down to Tim's outstretched hands. He hugged it tightly, thanking the fairy for her help. As they walked back through the enchanted forest, Tim and the fairy talked about their adventures. The fairy told Tim stories about the secret wonders hidden in the forest, and Tim shared tales of his kite-flying adventures. When they finally reached the edge of the forest, Tim thanked the fairy again for her kindness. "I'm glad I could help," she said with a smile. "Remember, the world is full of magic if you just believe in it." Tim nodded, his heart filled with gratitude and wonder. He waved goodbye to the fairy and hurried back home, his kite trailing behind him. From that day on, whenever Tim flew his kite in the village field, he knew that he had a friend in the enchanted forest watching over him. And so, with his imagination soaring as high as his kite, Tim continued to explore the world around him, knowing that magic could be found in the most unexpected places.